Hey everyone, I'm DT10 and in this video I'll be reviewing and showcasing the Demogorgon mod, which adds the Demogorgon as well as some other features from the popular Netflix show Stranger Things. This mod is available for most Minecraft versions past 1.18.2 and requires Forge and GeckoLib to run. There is a link to the download for this mod in the description if you'd like to check it out. Anyway, if you end up enjoying this video then please consider subscribing, and with all that out of the way, let's get started. So the first thing we're going to be taking a look at in this video is the Demogorgons themselves, and these are found in these things right here. This is a Demogorgon shack, and this shack is made of a brand new wood called blighted wood. So if we take a look in the creative inventory, as you can see, you've got all of your standard variations of it: log, wood, planks, and then all of your stairs, slabs, and all of that. So you can either find this wood inside these shacks, or you can also find the log variants of it underground. I'd say it's probably easier to get your hands on from these shacks as it's in a much greater quantity, but yeah, you can find underground as well if you want to. And then obviously everything's got its standard recipes, so planks are made from the logs, and then you can make your stairs, fences, whatever you want to. So if we head inside this shack, you can see that there is one of these, a mob spawner, and this is actually spawning Demogorgons. So at the moment the light level is far too high for them to be spawning, but if we set it to nighttime, as you can see, these guys will start spawning, and they are absolutely terrifying. So using a spawn egg, we can take a look at their model in full. It's a really cool model, and their walking animation and everything is brilliant. And as you can see here, they also go after other peaceful animals. Something I just thought I'd point out while I'm here as well is that these shacks aren't very rare. So you can see right here we've got 1, 2, 3 of these things in relatively close proximity, which is why I said that it's a lot easier to get your hands on the wood from these shacks, as you can pretty much find them everywhere in the world, which is pretty cool. So yeah, as I was saying, back to the Demogorgons, as that guy has completely gone. They've got a really nice model, some amazing custom sounds, and then obviously if you're in survival mode, they will chase after you and their mouth will open up and deal quite a lot of damage. As you can see from my health here, per hit, it's about 3.5, possibly even 4 points of damage there. So yeah, it's pretty terrifying. However, just like in the show Stranger Things, there is a way to combat this, and that is with fire. So if you grab yourself some lava or a flint and steel like I've got here, and start lighting some fire, then they will actually run away if you manage to light them on fire. There you go. So look, I've lit it on fire, it's making some horrendous noises, and it's running away, and this gives you some time to escape. You can also just try and kill these guys with weapons and everything, but the thing you'll notice is they have a lot of health and also a much greater reach distance than you, I believe. So it's pretty difficult to land a hit, and pretty quickly you'll find yourself in a bit of a sticky situation. The final thing to talk about before we move on to other parts of this mod is that, as you may have spotted, inside these shacks there are actually 2 chests, and these have a random assortment of loot. So this one's got some bread, some string, and some blighted flesh, which we'll go over in just a second. And then if you break the block above the other one, you can see this one has a pretty random assortment of items as well. So as you just saw, there is also a new item in this mod, and that is blighted flesh. So if you do somehow manage to kill a Demogorgon, it will drop some blighted flesh. There's a random amount that it drops, and as you can see here, if we kill this guy, we just got 1 blighted flesh right here. So this blighted flesh isn't edible or anything, but if you grab yourself a furnace, you can actually smelt this stuff. So if we pop that in there, as you can see, it'll start smelting. And you can also pop it on a campfire like this. And if we give that a second, as you can see, it will turn into leather. And in just a second, the same thing will happen over here on the campfire. So this basically gives you another alternate renewable source of leather. Admittedly, it's a bit more dangerous than something like cows, but it's a really cool way to make the Demogorgons useful as well as just there to kill you. And yeah, as you can see, we just got some leather from the campfires as well. Pretty neat. However, that's not all. In fact, this mod boasts a very impressive redstone energy system, so we'll take a look at that next. So the first thing you need for this is one of these, a redstone generator, and this is craftable just like everything in this mod. You need a blast furnace, 2 iron blocks, a block of redstone, 2 copper ingots, a lever, a lightning rod, and a redstone torch, and that gets you the redstone generator. So if we grab one of these and place it down, it has a really nice texture, which I love. It looks very vanilla and really combines all the items you use to craft it very nicely. But you can turn it on by right clicking it and it will start vibrating, the lever will go down and you get a nice little sound effect, which looks really cool, but it won't actually be doing anything. So as you can see from the item description, it says shift right click to open the GUI when turned on, but the block needs to be visible to the sky and the weather needs to be raining or thundering to do this. So if you try and shift right click right now, you'll get some particle effects and it will say the weather needs to be thundering or raining. So if we change the weather right now, as you can see, now that it started raining, we can open up the GUI and there's a big button that says create battery as well as 2 slots. So this is where the next part of this mod comes in, and that is you need a battery shell. So this is craftable with a copper ingot and 2 iron ingots, and you get 3 of them. So they're very easy to make. And all you need to do is grab yourself some of these battery shells, and then if you pop them on the left here and press create battery, it will strike the lightning rod like that, and you get yourself a battery item, which is really cool. And this is going to be very loud, but you can do this as many times as you want. Another thing you may have just noticed there is that even when you exit the GUI and then go back into it, your items are actually saved, which is very helpful. So you can grab all of this and now you've got yourself some batteries. So the first thing we're going to take a look at, which you need these batteries for, is the artificial redstone lamp. So this redstone lamp can be crafted with 4 glass, 4 redstone dust, and then 1 of these batteries. So it functions in a very similar way to a redstone lamp. You place it down, it doesn't do anything, and then you power it with redstone and it lights up. And a bee is right in my face. I didn't know what that noise was for a second. So while the functionality is very similar to the redstone lamp, it could be preferable for a lot of reasons. First of all, it doesn't require glowstone in the crafting recipe, which a redstone lamp does, so you don't need to go to the nether for it. And it's obviously better than something like a sea lantern, which requires you to go into an ocean monument. It's also got a really nice texture in my opinion, both in its on and off state. However, the other cool thing that this block does is it actually glows even when it's turned off. So if we set the time to nighttime, as you can see, it will give off a very faint glow, which no other light sources do when turned off. So yeah, overall a very cool block, but that is just one of the use cases for batteries, the other one being flashlights. So if we have a look in JEI, as you can see, there are 2 different types of flashlight, a tier 1 and a tier 2, both of these with different ranges. So to craft a tier 1 flashlight, you need an artificial redstone lamp, some cobbled deep slate and an iron ingot, which gets you a flashlight. And then you can also combine a flashlight with a battery to get yourself another flashlight to save you crafting all of this stuff, which is very helpful. And then to craft yourself a tier 2 flashlight, this time you need a tier 1 flashlight and then 2 blocks of iron and 2 black dye like this. And once again, you can duplicate it using a battery. So if you hold these in your hand and then right click to turn them on and off, as you can see, it won't do anything. But that's because we're in the open and it's daytime at the moment. But if we head down into a cave, as you can see, if we turn on this flashlight, you get this super cool flashing light effect. So this is the tier 1 flashlight with a range of 5 blocks, and then this is the tier 2 flashlight with a much larger range. It can be quite hard to see from here, but if you look right off in the distance there, this is the tier 1 flashlight and this is the tier 2 flashlight, so it's definitely got a longer range. The other really cool thing about these flashlights is they actually get blocked by blocks, so that's kind of hard to explain, but basically if I set up a wall of stone here and then flash the flashlight at it, so it's kind of hard to see here, but I'm just standing right up against this wall and the light very much isn't going through the wall. So if we get rid of this wall for a bit of a side-by-side comparison, as you can see, the light is going much further and stretching all the way into the back of that cave. So it's a really nice addition, and it makes exploring a lot easier. The other really cool thing I've noticed with these flashlights is that if you leave it on and then scroll away to another item and then come back to it, it will still be on. So it basically remembers whether you turned it on or not, which is really cool. And with that, I've pretty much covered everything that this mod has to offer. It's not a huge mod, but it's a really cool one if you want some extra blocks to build with, some extra really cool light and redstone functionalities, and of course the Demogorgons themselves and the shacks that they spawn in to be in your world. So if you'd like to download this mod for yourself, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, there is a link in the description. Or obviously, if you're watching this from the download page, then just go ahead to the Files tab and download whichever version you want. Make sure you also get the mod GeckoLib though, as it won't work without it. So anyway, if you did enjoy this video, then please leave a like or comment, and if you'd like to see more content like this, then please subscribe. But I've been DT10, and I will see you in the next video.